All right, are we on air is the question. Hello? Um, I think we are. So honestly, I've had a little bit of problems with technology, as it usually happens when we start to do new things like webinars. But I am happy to be here, and I am going to start sharing the screen. So bear with me as I do this. And we start. All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being part of this webinar. The fact that mid-January you took the time to learn some tips about goal setting already shows me that you are ready to make this year a different year. I mean, I love goal setting. I mean, heck, I did a planner with the words goal digger, monthly goals analysis, and more. So definitely I have had some awesome goals accomplished in my life and tons more that no matter how many times I wrote it in my calendar or planner or dream board, I would never come to life. It would never come to life. So I'm sure you can relate to that. So after quite a bit of self-analysis and studies of the human mind, I have stumbled upon great tips and tricks that are already making this 2017 a completely different year for me. And hopefully you'll be able to learn and apply some of them yourself. And that's why I'm so excited that you guys are here. I couldn't find a way of sharing this PowerPoint without sharing the screen, but hopefully you'll bear with me and like what we are doing here. So another one of the things, let me see if I go, there we go. I think you're still seeing this, and I am moving there. So why goals? Well, I am by no means an expert in this subject, but beyond making a tool that is planned to help you achieve greatness, I realize that the way a great planner will truly work is when there is true meaning behind those goals and true desires to take time to analyze, tweak, and repeat. These won't be a super long webinar, so we'll only be here for about 20 minutes or so. So please take this time to yourself. I beg you to stop checking Instagram, emails, Facebook, all of that, and really listen to those tips and tricks that most likely you have heard before. So maybe it's just a simple reminder, or hopefully at least one will stick with you and help you plan in a different way this 2017. So before we continue, please let me introduce myself. I am that girl in the picture, Susana Cresce. And if you notice my accent or mispronunciations, it's because I'm a girl from the Dominican Republic that immigrated 5 years ago, leaving behind a life of news, TV, and reporting, and started exploring life through different eyes. Now, I just got married a few months ago to an amazing man who loves numbers and jokes. We're living in Northern Virginia, the DC area, and I am the owner of SusanaCresce.com, where we create yearly planners and teach other women how to start their online and product-based businesses. Now, these changes in my life didn't come without a great set of goals, but deeper than that, a need to feel something different and greater. Now, let me explain. For the longest time, we have mostly in general wanted money, a better looking body, a bigger home, a nicer car. We want to travel. I mean, doesn't it sound familiar, especially when it comes to goal setting in New Year's? Well, most of us have written in our own words these items, but most of the time it just doesn't happen. By January 15th, we may have stopped going to the gym, we bought a bag of cookies and say, oh, I'll try again on Monday, right? But why is it so difficult to stick to a goal? Perhaps writing it down isn't enough, and maybe it isn't truly our goal, or maybe our priorities deep down are completely different. So that's why I'm here to talk about. I want to start my own business. That's something I said many times, and it just wouldn't stick until I finally sat down and started finding my why. And before I say my why, I want to ask you, is that something that you have said to yourself before? I would love to start my own business. Oh, maybe this year I'll explore that. Well, after I left my job as a news anchor, I was afraid of going back to the corporate world. Even though I had a great job in the eyes of others, I was controlled, I was limited in my earning potential, and also my schedule. I was yelled at. I was just unhappy in that job, and that's why I left it. So I definitely knew that one of my biggest whys was that I didn't want that again. But the financial security you get with a job is a big why not, right? But then I went deeper. I realized that I wanted to grow, to expand, to share earthly experiences with other women. I wanted to create and help. I wanted financial freedom. I wanted to make a life that allowed me to enjoy life's little luxuries, to be able to pay rent, to save money, and keep doing that even when I started a family. And that really resonated. I imagined myself as a mom that was there to see my children grow while I was still contributing economically to our household and to their and our savings account. Granted, I wasn't even dating at that time, but the idea of being an independent mom, being there for my kids anytime they need me, yet have enough money to also get the help that I needed for little luxuries like cleaning the house or babysitting, even when I'm at home, but working and need some alone time. Those were very strong whys. And I'm not even a mom yet, but the same way that we, for example, don't have to be dating to actually enjoy nice restaurants or go on trips, you don't have to be yet a mom to kind of prepare for that life and enjoy the things that you say you want to enjoy later on. So those were really strong whys for me. And that's when that goal started sticking. So why do I tell you that? Because until I wasn't clear again of my why, I would not accomplish those goals or I would lose them easily. So perhaps you have set yourself to lose weight just to show that X what he's missing, right? Or, and you do maybe lose the weight, right? But maybe it comes back. So yes, how about we use that rage as a fuel, the rage of the ex or the person that made fun of you, but just not making your entire why. The same way that my ex-bosses were just a fuel to my desire, they weren't enough to make it stick. They just were a little bit of fuel. I just had a bigger why inside of me before I became an independent entrepreneur, making six-figure a year. And when I found those really strong whys, those memories of my bosses were just, a good fuel to keep on the why. So if you actually sat down and realized that the reason for wanting to lose weight, and I use this example because it's a very easy one to understand and relate to other areas of your life. So again, if you sat down and realized that the reason that you really want to lose weight is beyond showing others your look, but actually because you want to feel energized, confident, because you want to enter any store and find the dress that you love in your size. Perhaps you want to be able to run after your nephews or your kids, or you want to travel without feeling exhausted all the time. Maybe you want to open your bathroom cabinet and find beautiful makeup and not tons of medicine. You want to feel healthy. You want to give your body the respect it deserves because it is yours for life. If that is your true why and it resonates to every cell of your body, perhaps just adding that little feel of the memory of your ex or the girl that made fun of you, it's just a cherry on top. But here's the funny thing. When you do find your why that is bigger than them, you can actually end up thanking them for being part of your life. Because if it weren't for them leaving you or making fun of you, you wouldn't have realized that you have a bigger desire and a bigger why inside of you. Now, how's that for a goal, right? And here is, I want to talk about the way. Now, sounds great to find the why. We found a why. Fantastic. Let's work on it. But again, as I said in the beginning, just writing it down may not be enough still. So let's talk about the way. Again, many of us set a bunch of goals at the beginning of the year. We make a goal setting session. I do that, and I have done that for the longest time. We make a beautiful dream board. I personally, like magazines and a big board, and I enjoy that so much. We feel awesome, accomplished, energized, and ready to conquer the year. And boom, stress, anxiety, doubts take over just a few days into the year, and you decide to simply go day by day and kind of forget about them goals until it comes again that time to set them, right? When you put a huge goal on yourself, like starting a business, lose 20 pounds, travel the world, in no timeline, no steps, no little projects to kind of make that more attainable, then altogether so big, there's just no question of why it is so damn hard to keep them goals and to make them happen, and then the worst thing is that we feel unaccomplished and doubtful, and start like making phrases in our mind like, I'm not equipped for this is not meant to be, I don't need it. Usually we try to cover our own fears and our own defeat by saying, I really didn't want it. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal, especially because it's messing with your mind, it's messing with your feelings about yourself, and you start feeling that you never finish anything and that maybe you don't deserve those bigger goals of yours. And no, we are just setting ourselves for defeat when we should be setting ourselves for success, and yeah, have a great plan for the year, but just not ask for ourselves to accomplish it all in the beginning of the year, and then we want and we feel horrible and then it stops. So let's plan again, but let's plan in a more meaningful, quote unquote realistic way. And what I mean by realistic is not that you shouldn't dream big, you just should dream the right thing at the right time and not plan an entire year in one single day. So one of the things that I have started doing and I am loving is making those goal setting sessions 4 times a year. So just like you run with the seasons, I am changing and assuming those seasons for my life as well. So I do plan the big year, and the big year is fantastic, but I take a theme for the first season, work very hard on that theme, and then in 3 months, I'm going to check again what I have accomplished, what has changed, and what this new season requires from me to keep on going and achieving and feeling as accomplished as I should be. Again, I'd rather see you accomplish one great goal the entire year than start 11 goals, kind of have done 5 of them and then leave 5 without doing them, and crushing your confidence. So this season, let's move from self-sabotage, from unhealthy comparisons, and set ourselves for success. So here are my main tips. Number 1, choose the main subject for this season. It can be health, wealth, business related, but just pick 2 or 3. 2 or 3 goals maximum, and mixing both personal and professional. But isn't 2 or 3 too little, you would ask? Well, here comes number 2. Goals are different than projects. As my coach Todd Herman says, projects tell you what and goals tell you why. Both are important, but without a strong why, we can waste our time constantly thinking we are busy when the little projects don't take us anywhere. Now, things like, I'm going to throw out 10 things, I'm going to read more, I'm going to get more clients, are too vague of goals or projects. So yeah, I need to throw out 10 clothing pieces. Yeah, that's a project. That's completely on you. You have 100% control of making that happen. And that's the type of project that either takes time off your plate or simply you want to do it, but that's not a goal. Now, what is a goal? The goal is the why of that project. Now, I'm going to make an example if you're a business owner like me. Let's say you're a business owner and you need cash fast because there's a big order valued at $10,000 that you need to pay by February 20th. And even though you could be organizing the books, you could be cleaning inventory, you could be designing a new logo or a new website. There's so many things you could do and you need to do at some point in your business, and you feel busy. You feel like you're working. But here's the thing. If you define that this is the most important goal in this season, in this time. Get those $10,000 in cash so you don't have to get a loan by February 20th because that shipment is coming that day. Then all of those mentioned above, like the logo or the website and all of that, are not the main task for right now. And you can move them for later. You can write them down, have a book, have a planner for later, but those are not the projects that will make you accomplish that goal now, which is the most important one because February 20th is coming and you need that money. Now, when you have that clarity of your goal, the goal having the why very strong, then you realize what tasks, what projects in your business are working directly towards that, or are simply projects that are taking time off your plate for that bigger goal. So once you know that, you realize that you need to concentrate on the marketing, on making a sale, or something that will give you the cash flow you need, right now. And every step that you do towards that goal will make you feel more confident, will make you feel more accomplished because you're crystal clear and you're seeing that every one of the things are taking your time in this season is working towards that goal. Now, the third tip is that once you do know that goal, like the business example that I made, you need to make your projects accountable to a deadline. Again, we started with a goal of the $10,000 by February 20th. So we do have the deadline. And then we start with the finish goal. Again, it's February 20th and you have those $10,000 cash in your hand to pay for the shipment. Fantastic. Now, from then until today, what did you have to do to accomplish it? So maybe you needed to run a special to get there, which needed ads, which needed more graphics, which means you end up hiring a graphic designer. So then you realize that by today, you should have your graphic designer lined up because you need that graphic running by Monday. So things like that are so specific and crystal clear what are the steps that you need to, on that date, February 20th, having that goal accomplished. Now, number 4, goals can create a lot of stress. And if you don't see it that way and create a structure that shows you the things that you have to do, it can be a total disaster. So again, goals create that stress because in itself, you cannot control that you accomplish it. I cannot control that I get the $10,000 cash. What I can control are the little steps to get there, to get as close as possible, or even crush it beyond that. Again, when we put it, I just need $10,000, and then it feels like there's just no way of doing it. When you break it down, okay, what are the things that I have control over that? Again, the ones mentioned before, like getting the graphic designer hired, running the special, doing everything to move inventory or start a quick sale, anything that will get you to the cash flow that you have control of, and of the best way of reaching to your clients, because you can't control the client's purchasing, but you can control the message and tweak and analyze and see the best way that you make that happen. Again, another way of taking out a bit of the stress and feeling more confident towards the accomplishment of them. Number 5, having too many goals at once is a no. Again, that only makes you shift back and forth. And at the end, you end up just making percentages of it every day. And the switching, even though we say we're fantastic at multitasking, it's just a horrible thing. Because if we don't finish, let's say we just say we're going to work on this project for 20 minutes today, just work full on those 20 minutes in that goal. And that will help you be concentrated and do more than just keeping it the entire day. Oh yeah, I'm sort of working on this, but let me go to Facebook really quick. And I remember now that I need to write an email, and then you start the email, but you realize something else, and then you start switching back and forth constantly. You end up none of them, or something that should have taken you just 20 minutes takes your entire day. So that's why having too many goals, too many tasks, too many projects, all unrelated, is not worth it. If you need to work on many goals at a time, not at a time, in a day, then be very specific. And even if it's just 5 minutes that you're going to give to one of the goals that you have, just commit to those 5 minutes, close it, and don't touch it again during the day. Be very specific and give it the time it means, instead of just putting it in the day openly along with a bunch of other goals. And number 6, simply scheduling your goals isn't enough to guarantee your progress. It's vital to constantly measure progress, analyze if your tasks are aligned with your whys, make self-analysis, and keep moving. One of the phrases that I grew up hearing constantly is like, you don't look back, for anything, just don't look back. And that's actually not a good phrase, because even though you want to constantly move forward, if you don't stop and analyze the steps that you have given, the things that have worked and the things that have not worked, then you just keep moving forward blindly. And we don't even know if it's forward. You just keep moving without, knowing exactly where you're going. So stopping, analyzing, realizing if that is worth your time, or if something worked perfectly or why it didn't work, all of that will make you just have stronger steps towards your future goal. So again, some people might feel that it just doesn't make sense to start with one simple goal at the beginning of January. Some people want to start with all the strength. Like, no. I need to, dive in full with everything. So I'm going to cut all carbs. I'm going to cut all sugars. I'm going to work out 7 days a week for 2 hours. I'm also going to read 3 books in a week. I'm also going to travel. When you try all of that, altogether, that's just a perfect recipe for disaster. So how about, yes, all of that you want to do in this year, and all of that you can do in this year, but how about we start from the holidays that were a complete, feast of carbs and sugar and, alcohol and everything that we do on holidays, instead of going straight to complete cleanse and cutting everything out for the rest of your life, quote unquote. We start cleaning slowly. Okay, you know what? Instead of forcing myself to go 7 days a week, otherwise, if I don't go, I feel horrible and deflated. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to commit to going 2 times this week. If you do 2 times Monday and Tuesday, then you're like, maybe on Thursday I feel like going. And maybe you can add up. And that's an even better achievement. You not only succeeded in your goal, but you added something else. And at the end of the week, you feel like, accomplished. You feel good. You feel stronger. And that's that feeling of accomplishment you're going to bring to the rest of your tasks, to your job, to your daily life, to your relationships. And that is an awesome thing. Versus if you set yourself for 7 days a week, you went 5 times, which is very, very good. You still feel horrible because you're like, I didn't make it happen. I committed to 7 days and I didn't make it happen. You know what? I'm just not going to go at all because this week I can't go 7 days. See the difference? You actually worked out more, but you feel more depleted. So that's definitely not a way to do it. And why would somebody that designed a planner tell you that simply writing your goals isn't enough? Simply because it isn't. And I have to be honest, it is a great step. It is a great tool, but I want to tell you how, when I decided to design this planner, I thought of things like that were the things that actually made me finish designing and publishing this planner 2 years ago. Again, it's a feminine, cute planner, but most of all, it's packed with gems. And these are gems that you can do what I did before. Like if you already purchased your Susana Grece planner, awesome. If you already purchased another planner, that's awesome too. What I used to do before, when I didn't have these tools in the planner, is I would modify the notes pages or some of the monthly pages. So if you find something in the next few minutes that you like and that you would like to apply in your planner, then by all means, modify your planner, make it happen. That book is yours, and you need to feel that is helping you achieve things. So again, the ways that I found my why are by starting with my dreams and how my perfect day would look like. And I love that part because that's exactly what helped me achieve the goals that I have achieved. Again, like publishing this planner and becoming a completely independent entrepreneur. And like it says here, like, what keeps you up at night? What makes you jump out of bed? And I started dreaming about the things that would excite me, and that's how I realized my why. The same thing with my perfect day. My perfect day isn't, that area isn't designed to make you imagine your perfect vacation day, because that's not real life, but the perfect day when it comes to normal life, including work, including paying bills, including all the family stuff. What is your perfect day? Waking up at what time? Maybe you like to meditate or work out. Maybe it's time to pay the rent and you feel awesome because you have more than enough money in your bank account to pay for that and all of your bills. And it feels awesome. So the real life, let's design it in the perfect day. And also there's a place for goals in all areas of your life with due dates. But what I like doing with this is like going all out, completely going all out at the beginning of the year, saying everything that I really would love to accomplish without being even fully realistic, everything that I would love to achieve. But that's when another area, which is the monthly mini goals, comes. After you say everything that you would love to achieve, then you realize in what area, what season of your life you are at the beginning of the year, and what is the most important thing to work on right now. What is the thing that will take the most time, or what is the thing that will affect me positively the most? And that's where you start putting the monthly mini goals. So even though you have a space to put your bigger goals and your ideal due dates, you are way more specific in the monthly mini goals, which you will translate then to every month. There's also a space for their ideal weekly schedule, and that's just one page where I love to dream. And what I love to dream is about, as an entrepreneur, I decide what days are for financial or for marketing or for packing or for designing new products. But as a person that would have a normal schedule, your schedule can change, but maybe you put up there some personal time. Maybe you decide to wake up a little earlier and, meditate and do breakfast, maybe spend time with the kids or the husband. Maybe you put at the end of the day, some days for a date night or for working on your dream ideal business that you decided to commit for next year. And that is something that is important to have at the beginning of the planner, because if you someday feel lost, like, what am I doing with my life? You go back to that thing you dreamed. I'm like, oh, that's right, I could be doing this. There's also a space for note to self, and I love that, because the same way that I talk to myself to realize my bigger whys, my bigger desires, my true desires, how I wanted to feel accomplished, how I wanted to feel energized, how I wanted to feel free, all those things were first discovered in a note to self, kind of journaling to myself and then going back to those true feelings. And one of the most important things that I do every week is the weekly analysis. So after every week, I go back, to the back of each month, and I find week 1, week 2, week 3, and I write exactly what my wins and loses were for that week. So I have some weeks written down where I'm like, this was not my best week. I was completely lazy. I was unfocused. I did not, accomplish any of the tasks that I had. I lost time. I write it down and I realize, oh my gosh, I don't want to feel that way ever again. So what can I do for next week to be a much better week? So those analysis is what I say that is so important, to go back instead of just move forward without realizing the things that might affect you in a positive or negative way in the way you move life. And again, goals accomplished, fantastic. Now, goals change is another fantastic thing for you not to feel unaccomplished. If you have all of these goals at the beginning of the year, but you do them season by season, step by step, there will come a time, let's say in June, where you realize, you know what, that goal that I did, that I wrote of, I don't know, maybe losing weight, I realize it's not that important right now. Maybe I just feel really happy the way that I'm living life, that I'm enjoying some recipes, or simply it's not a priority right now because I have a lot of work, and it's okay to let go. You'll try to be as healthy as you can in real life, but right now, just having the goal of losing those 10 pounds or whatever it is, are simply not on my plate, and you're allowed to change it. You're allowed to write it differently, and that will make you, feel like, oh, I took some weight off my shoulders and it feels fantastic. So those are some of the things that I use to modify in my planners. And again, if you already purchased your planner and you like some of these tips, I really encourage you to do it. Not to simply write something, but to give yourself time to analyze and to write little by little all the tasks that will make you accomplish those goals. There's nothing like feeling depleted. There's nothing like feeling like you never complete anything. And maybe that's not in the top of your mind, but your subconscious does feel it. And that's maybe why you have been dragging the goals year by year. And it's time that you give yourself permission to plan the right way, to maybe just commit to one big goal or one decent goal. And when you see that accomplished by the end of January or February or March or whenever you set the date to be, you will start feeling more confident. You will start realizing that you're worth it and that you can, and that you have everything that you need to accomplish those goals. So let's start planning this year more in a more smart way. Let's plan in a more meaningful way. Let's start planning with real strong whys, and let's make it happen. Now, if you like this presentation, I would love to see your feedback. I would love to hear if you learned something. If you have some tips on goal setting, please by all means share, because I love learning about this and sharing it with all the people that have interest in knowing more about goal setting. And if you are looking for a 2017 planner, either daily or weekly, I highly encourage you to visit SusanaCresce.com. We have the planners on sale, and they are available for you to have the best year yet. I would love to hear from you. I'm coming back here. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your thoughts. And again, if you order a planner and leave on the notes that you order from this webinar, I'm going to send you a gift personally, just a little gift to encourage you to really accomplish your goals. This world needs more people that feel and know that can accomplish anything they set their minds to. And the more meaningful we plan our years, and the more committed we are to making it happen, we are gonna feel better. We're gonna raise children that feel and know the amazingness that there is in this world. And that's my dream and desire and prayer for you. Thank you so much for being here. And I wish you an amazing, amazing, amazing year. And again, I'm gonna share really quick the views of the planners that you can snag today on SusanaCresce.com, dailies and weeklies for Goal Digger or Let's Do This, and with all the tools that I put right there to make you find your real why and make you find the reasons why you set your goals and the reasons why you're committing to them and accomplishing them this year. Thank you so much.